Okay, finally, I know it's been a couple of days, and I said I would do it back to back. We had reviewed Big. Now we're finally getting around to I don't have a lot of notes on this movie. It was just...
Doesn't matter.
Old School, 2003, directed by Todd Phillips. 1 hour and 28-minute runtime. VHS X rental copy. Video 1, due back by midnight. Old School. Call them at 574-4369. Don't know. 209 area code, so probably from Modesto somewhere. My buddy Steve gave me this movie. He was purging his video cassettes, and I kept this one, a copy of Scarface and Friday the 13th and Porky's, which I ended up giving Porky's to somebody else because I couldn't get into it. It was in this genre of movies. So let's talk about Porky's and then this movie. Porky's is like a frat house, except for that's a high school age. It's raunch.
You just said let's talk about Porky's, but what you meant is Old School.
Porky's fits in the genre of this, but Porky's is like one of the early films from the late 70s and 80s where they were kind of making these raunchy comedies. So Ivan Reitman, associated with Ghostbusters, then he did Meatballs and he was associated with Animal House, which is one of the classic frat house movies. It fits into the genre of this movie. So the director of this movie did an actual documentary in 1998 that premiered at the Sundance Film Festival that was called Frat House. Ivan Reitman saw it, and he was the frat house comedy guy of the old days, and he said, let's revitalize the genre. So let's change it up, and we'll use guys in their 30s way past their college glory days. So then we got this movie here. I love Will Ferrell. You don't like Vince Vaughn.
I love Will Ferrell.
I love Luke Wilson, brother of Owen Wilson. He is the redeeming character in this movie.
Luke Wilson was in a very good movie called... Okay, it's with Reese Witherspoon. Legally Blonde. Great movie.
That's your speed of movie. I made you watch the unrated, not even R-rated, unrated. The back of the box says it all.
I'm sorry, Lord. Forgive me. It was all his fault.
It was not the type of movie that you would normally watch.
No.
But however, this movie was commercially successful on a budget of $24 million. It grossed $86.7 million. And I remember seeing this movie in my high school days. Not when it came out in theaters. I think probably I was a senior.
The unrated version?
I probably saw it 3 or 4 years later. So I would have been like 19 or 20 when I saw it. My mom would have never let me see this movie because of 2003. I would have been a sophomore. Mom. In my very conservative Christian homeschool upbringing, I would have never been able to go see this movie. And
I felt kind of bad about watching the rest of it, but I mostly just wanted to see what happened with the Luke Wilson character because he's the one. Yeah, that guy.
So he's a real estate attorney, and he works for a firm, and he's very timid, and the chick that plays the daughter in Christmas Vacation is his girlfriend, and he comes home early from a work trip and catches her doing deviance. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So then he's distraught, and I feel like that the Vince Vaughn character was very self-focused in his intentions. He's like, we're going to help you get back out there and play the field and revitalize you from your bad breakup. Let's make this fraternity. And then you have the guy, one of the other characters that stood out. I don't write his name. The guy that plays Howard Wolowitz in The Big Bang Theory is in it. He's young in this movie.
Oh yeah, was that one of his first roles?
I'm not sure. Well, I didn't do enough research. But honestly, there wasn't a lot of notes for this movie, and I kind of went into this particular movie where I just felt like talking about it. It's like a lot of slapstick comedy, a lot of bodily harm comedy.
There's a
lot of topless women.
If you know what I mean? That kind of a doll.
It's a lot of topless women, and it's just kind of like, it's not my typical type of movie.
Yeah, the nudity, not a fan.
So I am going to jump right into the rating. Rotten Tomatoes is 60%. IMDb, though, is 7 out of 10, which is not, it's kind of middle of the road, I guess. Google users are higher, 4.2 out of 5. So this is a cult classic.
Okay.
And it was, if you were of a certain age in the 2000s, this movie has a lot of memory association probably because like my cousins were a little bit older than me, and I can remember them quoting this movie all of the time and me being totally lost. But
And I will say this character, the Vince Vaughn character or whatever, he does cover his kids' ears when he says bad things. So there is that.
That's
he tells
the one
them to do
redeeming
earmuffs.
quality.
That's one redeeming quality of the film. Also, if you're familiar with the show 24, Jack Bauer's daughter, who we see a lot in the very first episodes of the show, also played a high school girl who...
No spoilers! I guess it doesn't matter.
Well, anyways.
It's a 20-year-old movie.
Anyways, she lies about her age to this guy, and that's all I'll say. But I don't know the name of the actress, but she was in it. So if you liked her, she was really annoying in 24, I felt. But anyways,
I feel like there was some laughs. The scene that I always think of is Will Ferrell like drunk as Frank the Tank, and he's like, "We're gonna go streaking in the quad. Everybody's doing it. Come on."
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the scene
and then
that
he's
I
the
always
only one
think
who
of.
does it.
And Leah Remini plays
Vince Vaughn's wife.
Vince Vaughn's wife,
which makes sense because he's really like he's Vince Vaughn. I feel like he plays like the same person in every movie.
Yeah.
Seems like someone like Leah Remini is like one of the only people that could handle him.
So we've talked about the critics. I'm 2 out of 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Are you gonna go 1 out of 5?
I don't know. It was pretty funny at times. This guy.
Tear me up in the comments if this is a classic, and I don't know.
He does have good morals for the most part. He doesn't really want to do the fraternity thing at all, but also part of the reason why they had to do it is because they get notified that his house that he's renting.
Oh yeah, they have a problem with the dean of the school. He was like their enemy because they mistreated him in their actual college days. And now their frenemy guy, he's the dean, and he wants them to go away.
Oh, so yeah, okay, so that's why that happened then. So
they had bad blood with the dean of the school from the past, and now he was out to get them. So he's rezoning the house that the Luke Wilson character is now renting after his breakup, and then the dean's like, this guy, I don't like these people. We're gonna try and screw them over. So
that's what I was trying to say. Was that he was rezoning the house.
You were taking too long.
I couldn't get it out. But. You said.
I didn't mean to talk over you.
It's okay. What you said with the explanation of, okay, now that makes more sense. I thought it was just arbitrarily being rezoned.
Where were you? Were you not watching the movie? That's one of the main plots of the movie.
Okay, well, sometimes I get up to get snacks or tea, or I don't know what's going on. Half the time I'm hungry, so I'm thinking about what I'm going to eat, but or I'm out of the room and I'm like, okay, pause it, But
I don't know how many I don't know how many more guest review spots I'm gonna have you do.
No. Listen, he comes into the house. You're not
taking this low budget channel seriously enough.
I take it very seriously. No, he comes into the house and he's like, "All right, guys, you look like you've got everything together," and he's making fun of them because the house is completely torn to shambles because of one of their parties. And then I don't remember if it's at that point or later, but he comes back and he's like, "The house, has been rezoned and it's now part of the school." And
he says school activities only.
Okay, I thought that was just like, it's school property, school activities. I thought that was just like something that happened, like with the city, like, okay, we can't control this.
No, you had a vendetta against them because they remarked that, hey, didn't we throw you in a dumpster back when we were in college? And he's like, yes, I got out.
Well, and they were jealous because like a lot of them, they weren't acting very successful in their lives. And
Vince Vaughn owned like 6 speaker cities. He was highly successful.
Well, yeah, but in his free time he was hanging out with all these single young girls and he was married. So anyways, it was kind of smarmy.
You didn't like the promotion of immorality.
He did kind of start to do one bad thing, but he stopped
was making out with the college co-ed, and then he's like, wait a minute, I'm married.
He told her that he was married, and he was wearing a ring, so how do you not notice that he's wearing a freaking wedding ring?
Folks.
So, wow, how ditzy can you
reviews.
be?
Who else out here is
wearing a ring? Like, you didn't notice that when you started making out with him? Anyways, whatever. These girls are not the brightest. That's why they're there at the fraternity.
Like talking with you about the movie, I feel like I enjoy it more than the 2 out of 5. But I've already spoken. I can't change it once it's on the tape.
I was going to say 2.7, but I think that's too high. I think I'm going to go 1.7. I don't know.
That's rough.
I'm
sorry, Todd Phillips.
Fine. I'll just I'll go an even 2 because...
This is considered an early 2000s classic, but perhaps the raunch comedy genre just is not for us.
Yeah, it was a little too, like, you could have gotten the point across that it's a fraternity without all the nudity, I think, but of course
it's
they
just
wanna
like I
add that
tried to
in,
have
so.
you watch 40-Year-Old Virgin, and there is so much profanity, so much use of the F word, you couldn't get through it.
I was like, okay, I'm done.
It's
I don't
over
know
the
why.
top, but
I
I
don't
know
know
people that
why.
really talk like that, though.
I don't know why I sat through this. Well, because of him and the love interest who comes along. I guess I wanted to see what happened with that, because him and the girl
there's a girl that's more his age range.
The girl that he falls for is like more his speed, like morality wise. So, and I liked it because she has the same name as me. Her name is Nicole.
The single mom. You got to throw that damsel in distress in there, looking for salvation.
But she has a boyfriend.
Dating a douchebag. And Luke Wilson is the awesome guy that's going to end up with her.
At the time, she has a boyfriend and she comes to visit him and hang out with him.
We're wrapping it up, guys. Let's wrap it up.
Oh, it's kind of weird.
Thanks for watching it. It's one of the longest reviews I've done in a long time. Who knew that we would have so much to say about this 2003 raunch comedy classic?
Yeah, and if you don't like the doll thing,
which
I don't like it. It doesn't really make that much of an appearance, but if you don't like nudity,
topless women,
yeah, you might want to just skip it. There's a lot of other romantic comedies that are a lot more classy.
Name one.
So.
Name one of your top picks for
Sleepless in Seattle.
There you
While
go,
you
folks.
were sleeping.
You got
the mashed potatoes are so creamy.
Oh God! All
Great
right,
line.
that's it. We ran the course for this review. We'll see you next time.
All right, bye.